find out about a reasonably priced Walt Disney World restaurant serving really great food here today on WDWAO. Welcome, your Royal Highnesses. I'm Dan and you're watching Walt Disney World Adults Only. How have you all been? Today we are going to be talking about a restaurant which is quite a new one to me, Ale & Compass. We're going to be joined by Taylor and Courtney, who also have dined here and love this restaurant. So we're going to give you 3 different reviews and experiences here, as well as giving you some basic information about this restaurant. And as always, you can ask all the questions you have in the comments down below too. So the order of the day is I'm going to give you some information about the restaurant. Then we're going to go to the ladies first and get their reviews before I tell you all about my delicious breakfast here in just September last year. So for those of you who do not know, Ale & Compass is a table service restaurant located at Disney's Yacht Club. It is New England inspired and boasts the very freshest seafood. However, the menu here also has so many great options if you're not a seafood lover, so don't let that put you off. So as I said, Ale & Compass, located at the Yacht Club, is just a short walk from the International Gateway at Epcot. As you come into the lobby at the Yacht Club, the Ale & Compass is just slightly off of the lobby, as if you're walking towards the beach club. Apparently the theming is supposed to be like a cozy lighthouse interior, but I wasn't really feeling that myself. It didn't feel like a lighthouse to me, but maybe lighthouses in America are very different to here in the UK. I will, however, say it's beautifully decorated with kind of high vaulted ceilings and soft lighting. It really is a stunning restaurant to sit and dine in. I really did like it myself. It opens for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I have to tell you that for Disney prices, this one is quite a reasonable offering. Breakfast is priced around the $15 to $20 price point, and you can get some really unique offerings here, such as the dark chocolate waffle that comes with a dried cherry compote. You can get caramel apple French toast. You can get a crab cake Benedict and a protein bowl here as well. They also do an option here where you can pay $23 and you get 1 entree from the menu plus a side buffet, and that includes all your drinks as well. So it includes your tea, your coffee, your juice and any soft drinks for $23. So that's a really good bargain if you're having one of the more expensive entrees. As you can see, the buffet here isn't super extensive, but it does include things like pastries, muffins, little cinnamon rolls, parfaits, fruit, etc. But by having the buffet option, you could actually save yourself some money, as I will tell you about in my segment a little bit later. The lunch menu is a kind of hybrid. It takes some items off of the breakfast menu, some items off of the dinner menu, and they have some items here that are only available at lunchtime too. Appetizers for lunch are priced around $13 and include a blue crab bisque and a roasted buffalo cauliflower. You can get salads and flatbreads priced between $10 and $19. And then the lunchtime entrees are priced up to $24. So not really an expensive lunch. Now, whilst lunch sounds okay, dinner is where it's really happening. So if you've got a choice of going here for lunch or dinner, then I would definitely suggest you go here for dinner. The menu is so much better. Prices for dinner are similar to the lunch menu prices, with appetizers priced up to $15 for the garlic roasted shrimp. Flatbreads are priced up to $20, and that's for the short rib French dip. And then main courses go up to $36, and that's for the 10-ounce New York strip steak. And of course, they have a market price sustainable fish, as you would expect from any Disney seafood restaurant. I'm sure that Taylor will tell you all about the truffle fries, which come with a roasted shallot mayo. This is one of the side dishes here, and you can get sides for around $6. Desserts are priced up to $9 and include a 12-layer chocolate cake, an enchanted forest cake with a sour cherry centre, and they also have a Granny Smith apple cobbler too. Here you will also find a very interesting array of tea. If you like teas, then this is a really great place for you. They also have a full bar serving wines, beers and spirits as well. Reservations are recommended. However, this is one table service restaurant where you might be able to get a walk up or a reservation on the day. But if you really want to go here, and I suggest you do, then try and get that reservation at your 60-day mark. Now, right next door, you will find the Ale and Compass Lounge. And this is a place where you do not need a reservation. This is a full service lounge and bar, and it looks super comfy. It has some really large TV screens, which I would suggest is where you're gonna find your sports. But this place is elegant, it's sophisticated, it's very adult only, and it looks like the ideal place to grab a drink. And if you can't get a reservation at Ale and Compass, you can get some of the appetizers in here as well. So if you can't get into Ale and Compass and you want to try something on the appetizer menu, this could be a really good option for you. Right, before we get into those reviews, tell me down in the comments below, have you dined at Ale and Compass before? What did you have? How was your experience? Tell me everything. And if you haven't dined here before, is there somewhere that you would consider for your next trip? Okay, let's get started with Taylor, who has dined at Ale and Compass for both breakfast and for dinner, so she can give us both experiences. And also, let's just take a moment to welcome back Taylor. She's been away from the team for a little while she was pregnant with her beautiful son, Miles. Welcome back, Taylor.
Thank you so much, Dan. I am absolutely thrilled to be back with Walt Disney World Adults Only, even though my life isn't so much adults only anymore. But I think there will still be some adults only trips in the future, so you can't get rid of me that easily. Now, as was just mentioned, I have been to Ale and Compass twice, both times last year in 2022. We first went in January for dinner on our Hollywood Studios day, since it is just a quick boat ride over to the Yacht Club. Honestly, I didn't know anything about this restaurant before we went and ate there, so I didn't have any recommendations going in, and we just ordered based on our own preferences. We started with 2 drinks, a regular Manhattan and the Purple Mariner, which was a gin-based drink. Both were priced at $15 and were good, but not the best drinks we've ever had in Disney. The food really impressed us though. We started with the roasted buffalo style cauliflower, which was $9. It was just cooked really well, had a nice buffalo flavor permeating throughout the entire piece of cauliflower, and I definitely recommend this if you're a cauliflower fan like I am. For the main course, I got the New England seafood pot pie. At the time it was $28. The price has increased to $30, and I thought it was absolutely delicious. Obviously you have to like seafood, but it was just packed full of scallops and fish and shrimp, and the flavor just mixed really well together. And then there was this pastry on the top that was the flakiest thing I think I have ever eaten. It was like eating air, and I think I even said that in the vlog. If you want to see our whole dining experience there for dinner, you can find that linked down below or up in the corner, because it was really good, but that topping was just amazing. And as much as I like that, I wasn't the winner of the evening. Jake picked an amazing short rib French dip flatbread. Oh my gosh, I should have ordered this. It was phenomenal. The flavor was so good. He was nice enough to give me a taste, and I loved it. We also got truffle fries. Those were just a $6 extra side, and they were really good too. I'm a huge French fry fan, if you didn't know, so I'm always looking for a good French fry, and those truffle fries really impressed. The flatbread cost $20, and they have a few different types of flatbreads, so if you're looking for something maybe a little bit smaller and lighter, definitely recommend that. I think this is a really great option if you aren't looking for anything unique and spectacular. The menu is a decent size, but it's pretty normal. You have those flatbreads, the different pot pies, there's also steaks and pastas. You're gonna find something that you'll like on it, but it's not gonna be extravagant. The meal came to a little over $100 with our drinks. We had really good service that night, and we decided that we wanted to try it again for breakfast on our next trip that happened in September. One of my Walt Disney World bucket list goals is to try every breakfast in Disney. And this was just one that I wanted to check off the list. And the reason we chose it when we did is because we were spending the whole day in Epcot. Ale & Compass's proximity to Epcot cannot be beat, especially for breakfast. We just popped in a $10 Uber from Animal Kingdom Lodge, headed over to Yacht Club, grabbed breakfast when we were done, went out towards the lake, and walked in through the International Gateway. So simple. And the breakfast, we loved. I will say that we did get some recommendations before we went, knowing that Dan and Courtney had eaten there. So we were asked, hey, what should we get? And they did not steer us wrong. The menu isn't huge, but they do have that buffet option if you are wanting a little bit more. We decided not to go with the buffet option because the 2 entrees that we ordered with a drink, and I didn't even have a coffee that morning, were under the $23 that the buffet cost. So we saved money, and we didn't want to stuff ourselves because we were going to Food and Wine that day. Made perfect sense for us, but even for $23, if you want a little more food, I say it's definitely worth it. Jake ordered the dark chocolate waffles. He always says that he is not a dessert for breakfast type of person and prefers the savory options, but he couldn't pass these up when he saw them on the menu. He was impressed that they weren't super sweet. The chocolate flavor was more of the nice bitterness of chocolate mixed with the waffles, and then there was a huge pile of bacon on the side and a cherry compote that also wasn't too sweet, but just enough to really round out the flavor. He definitely recommends them. And I had the crab eggs Benedict. I love eggs Benedict, but because I can't eat ham, I can't order it a lot. So when I saw the crab one on the menu, had to get it. Was not disappointed. The Holidays was amazing. The crab cake was really full of crab and not a ton of filling, and the egg was cooked so perfectly. And then that side of potatoes, love potatoes, so they were excellent as well. Earlier that year, I had the crab eggs Benedict over at Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary, and the ones at Ale & Compass were better. They were both really good, but they were just perfect at Ale & Compass, and I would 100% order them again if we went back, and I think we will. For us, this was one of the best priced breakfasts at Walt Disney World. We used our Disney Visa, so got a little bit of a discount. So for the 2 entrees and a cup of coffee, the meal was $36 plus tip. And I don't think I've ever paid that little for a sit-down meal, even if it was breakfast at Disney, and the food really impressed us. I think the rest of the menu looks really good too. And with it being so close to Epcot, I can definitely see us going back there in the future. Okay, Courtney, on to you. I know you're not the biggest breakfast eater, but you did have breakfast here.
That's right, Taylor. Some may say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but it is still not my favorite. So, on a recent trip that was just Todd and I at Disney, we ended up ditching our off-property resort and spending the rest of our stay on property. The problem with changing the resort was once we moved to an on-property resort, the free breakfast option was no longer. So we needed plans for the remaining time we were there for what we were going to do for breakfast. There were a couple restaurants that were still available that we hadn't yet eaten at or we really wanted to. So we took the opportunity to go ahead and book a breakfast at Ale & Compass, as this was a location that we were both wanting to try. Our breakfast reservation time was a little later in the morning, around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So when we arrived, I was pleasantly surprised to find that they actually had brunch options rather than just your normal breakfast. Todd, he does enjoy breakfast food, so he ordered the crab cakes Benedict. He absolutely loves Eggs Benedict of any kind, and he's never had one like this before, so he was really excited to try it. When it came, it looked pretty good. Even though I'm not a big breakfast eater, I did try a little bite, and it was amazingly delicious. The crab cake and the hollandaise, I wasn't sure was gonna work very well, but some things, you know, it works. It was really, really good. For me, because I don't eat breakfast food, the brunch options were actually very appealing to me. They were offering normal lunch options right alongside the breakfast options. You could get a burger, you could get a lobster roll. Well, I opted for the lobster roll. I had several options as far as sides. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to get. I was leaning on breakfast potatoes. Todd's breakfast came with breakfast potatoes, so our waiter actually suggested to me that I get the truffle fries and try those. Did not disappoint. It was so great. I felt a little awkward eating a lobster roll and french fries at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. But for someone who doesn't eat a lot of breakfast foods, this was something that was absolutely amazing to me. The lobster roll was absolutely packed with lobster meat. It was quality meat too, huge chunks of claw meat, all just on a perfectly toasted lobster roll. Oh, it was so good. As far as price point, the bill for the two of us came to be around $50. My meal was slightly more expensive than Todd's, but just by a few dollars. And I really thought that the quality of the food and the portions was very fair in comparison to the price. Would I eat here again? For breakfast, if I can still get the brunch options where I get more lunch food and as opposed to breakfast food, 100% the answer will be yes. Todd gets what he likes. I get options that I like. I have not yet had the opportunity to eat here for lunch or dinner, but it is on the list and I will make it for one of those meals one day. So back to you, Dan. I think that makes Ale and Compass a winner for all three of us, right?
Thank you, Courtney, and also thank you to you, Taylor, too. Yes, I think that Ale and Compass is a win for us all. As I said earlier on, I've only dined here once so far, but it's somewhere that I would definitely go back to. So I did actually vlog my experience while we were here in September. So if you want to see that breakfast, then I will link it for you down below, and also a link should pop up here for you as well, so you can watch that at your leisure and see it kind of live. But let me tell you about our breakfast at Ale and Compass. So last year I made a video all about the table service restaurants at all the deluxe resort hotels, and in that research for that video I had to look at the different restaurants and the different menus, and something that shone out at me was the caramel apple French toast at Ale and Compass. And I was like, right, I need to try that. And so when it came to making our reservations, and we were staying at the Yacht Club, it made absolute sense to book it whilst we were staying there, and that's what I did. So I made a reservation for about 8 o'clock in the morning, I believe, to go and have Ale and Compass breakfast whilst we were staying at the Yacht Club. So on day of our reservation, we came down to the lobby on time. We went to the podium and were taken straight through to the restaurant really efficiently. The restaurant itself was really beautiful. It wasn't what I was expecting. It was really pretty actually. And then our server, who was really great, I can't remember his name, but he was really awesome. He came over and he explained there's two different options. So we could have either an entree or we could have the buffet option. We both went for the buffet option because not only did it give us access to a small buffet, but it also included our drinks. So it included orange juice, tea, coffee, and soft drinks too. So it actually worked out cheaper for us to have the buffet option as we were having drinks as well. So I'll give you those figures very, very shortly. So of course I ordered the salted caramel apple French toast, the item that I'd seen months before and was desperate to try. And David went for the smoked salmon toasted bagel sandwich. Not my idea of a breakfast, I have to say. But anyway, we ordered our entrees, we both went up to the buffet, and I'll be honest, we were not super wowed by the buffet selection. You know, it was kind of basic. It had some pastries, it had some croissants, it had some muffins, it had some fruit, it had some little biscuits, cheddar biscuits and gravy, but there was nothing on there that was like, oh my god, this is an amazing buffet. So it was a kind of nice to have extra, but I wouldn't say that was essential. The only reason I would say to get the buffet is because it actually works out cheaper if you're going to have drinks with your breakfast as well, potentially, which I'll talk to you about very shortly. So we went up, we had some little bits from the buffet, and you know, they were fine. There was nothing remarkable about them, nothing bad about them. But of course, when our main entree for breakfast arrived, it was a very different story. The caramel apple French toast, I don't even know where to start. It was deliciously and sickly sweet, but what a treat that was. It was so nice. It had kind of like bits of chopped up apple with cinnamon. It had some sultanas in there as well. The French toast was cooked really, really nicely, and it was quite a big portion. It was really, really filling. I didn't need the things I had off the buffet because the entree was enough on its own. Now, what I will tell you about that entree is it was a really, really nice treat, but I probably wouldn't have it again. Not because I didn't like it, but just because it was probably so unhealthy. And there's also so many other things on that menu that I want to try if I go back. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you've got a sweet tooth. But it's really, really sickly sweet, and for me it's a one-time thing only. David absolutely loved his smoked salmon bagel. It came with crisps, but it said on the menu it came with chips, which of course in America crisps and chips are the same thing. Chips for us are French fries, so he thought he was getting French fries, but he didn't, which was quite funny. So yeah, he really enjoyed that. He said that he would have that again. It was really, really large. I don't think he finished it all, which is unusual for him. He's got a really good appetite, as you may have seen in our vlog series. I don't think he finished it all, but that wasn't because he didn't enjoy it. I think it was just because it was too much, particularly with the buffet food that we had as well. So if you're going to have the buffet, my advice would be to go lightly on it because the entrees are really, really filling. So the caramel apple French toast was $16, but I had a coffee and an orange juice as well. So if I'd have paid for those three items separately, it would have come to $24.78. So by paying $23 and then getting the buffet stuff on top actually worked out cheaper to do it that way for me. David's entree, the smoked salmon bagel toasted sandwich. It's a mouthful, isn't it? But it was. That was $17, and with his coffee and with his orange juice on top of that, that would have come to $25.78. So again, by him having the buffet option, which included the drinks, it was cheaper just to pay the $23. So even if you don't want the buffet, if you do want drinks, then it might be worth just doing a little bit of maths while you're sitting on the table just to work out which option is going to be cheaper for you. We actually had two of the cheaper entrees. They do go up to about $21, I think, for some of the steak options. So particularly if you're having one of the more expensive entrees, then the buffet option will definitely work out cheaper for you. And also as well, it is quite nice to get up and go and have a little look around the buffet and pick up a couple of little bits and pieces. Ale and Compass is a Disney restaurant, and so we also got 10% discount for DVC off of our bill as well. So actually, you know, I said before this is a reasonably priced restaurant. With that discount as well, it was a really, really good breakfast for not too much money. I think it's one of the cheapest breakfasts we had at a table service the whole trip. So my kind of overall ending comment on this breakfast is it was amazing. I 100% recommend breakfast at Ale and Compass, and if you've not been there, go and give it a try and then come back and tell me, what did you think? Do you think it's as good as we all did? So this restaurant is recommended by all three of us. Have we persuaded you to try it? Tell us in the comments down below. And if you've already dined here and your experience wasn't like ours and you don't recommend it, come and tell us why as well. We'd love to hear your experiences as well.
Thank you so much for watching this video.
If you like it, make sure click that thumbs up.
And share it with your friends too.
If you like our channel, make sure you click subscribe.
And hit that little bell icon so you know anytime we put out a new video.
Finally, if you are not a member of our fantastic Adults Only Facebook group, join us today.
The link for that is in the description below. There, we will continue this discussion along with so many more.
And as always, there's only one thing left to tell you. Never grow up.
Never grow up.
Never grow up. Mwah, miss you guys.